Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, Daiki's new engine that we got from Oka-chan should be running in his car. And we're gonna be fixing all the wiring and everything on the car. So let's get into it. Moshi moshi, konnichiwa. How you doing, Daiki?
Beep.
Beep means swear words. But
you
yeah.
know this me? I'm fucked up.
Yep. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I gave Daiki the project of making and positioning his radiator. I strongly advised that he measure everything 3 times. And this is, I think, the second time he's taken it off and gonna do it again. But this time he's got it sorted and it'll be in the right position. But yeah, it's been hard, it's been tough, but he's gotta learn somehow. I have been busy for the last few hours. Don't worry, while he's been doing that, I have been busy, guys. I've been real busy. Look at all of that. It might be hard to see, but let's get the light further down here. But look at that. We've still got a lot to do. I got a few more things to wire up, but we are looking good. Also, I realized he never had a fuse between his battery and the car. There was nothing, it was just straight. So I got a, one of these big boy 200 amp fuses. Oh wow, that's doing weird things to the camera, but I got one of those boys. Why is it doing that? Huh, is that better? That's better. Anyways, I got one of these guys, like a little breaker. So that'll be good for 200 amps. Should be more than enough for what he needs. It's what I use in my S15 too, is just one of those. But yeah, I'm gonna get this thing all sorted out. I'm gonna get straight back into wiring, finish this all up, so we can push the button, start cranking this thing. We still got a fair bit to do, and so does Daiki. This is all pretty exciting. We are about to test the wiring and whether or not the car will crank. I don't think it'll run because the cam angle sensor is the stock one, and I think it needs to be changed to the one off Daiki's old engine for it to work, which has just like a 21-to-1 wheel or a 20-to-1 wheel in it. But we can at least see if the ignition's working and everything that we need to. So let's give this thing power. That's on. Okay, nothing's broken yet. Ignition. That's cool. Is the ECU on now? Question mark. I have no idea. Part of me just wants to hit the crank button. The ECU's connected. That's a good sign. It cranks. I don't know if it'll start because the trigger's probably wrong. Do I have sync on the triggers? If not, then we have to just change the trigger. Good. Seems like we do.
A few moments later.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. 2:57 to be exact. But I worked out a few little wiring things and some trigger issues, but we're ready to crank. Ooh, sounds so good with all the fuel pumps working now. Ooh, fuel pressure. We ready? Woo! Alright, let's shut it off real quick because we don't have any water in it. No water in it. No coolant. That's enough. That's enough for now. It works. It started for the first time. We have a lot to get done tomorrow. Time to go home and sleep. come back and finish this thing.
The next day.
It's the next day and we're starting off with a fami chiki. Spicy one to be exact, so you know it's definitely going to be a good day. Daiki's eating a natto.
Natto maki.
Natto is fermented soybeans and it is a delicacy in Japan. I highly recommend you all try it. It's good. It's cheap too.
Doesn't like that.
Yeah, some people don't like it, but you can get vinaigrette ones and it's really good. Anyways, we're gonna eat this little snack and then we're gonna get onto the car and give you guys a big update. It's the next day and we're starting off with a fami chiki. Spicy one to be exact, so you know it's definitely gonna be a good day. Daiki's eating a natto.
Natto maki.
Natto is fermented soybeans and it is a delicacy in Japan. I highly recommend you all try it. It's good. It's cheap too.
Doesn't like that.
Yeah, some people don't like it, but you can get vinaigrette ones and it's really good. Anyways, we're gonna eat this little snack and then we're gonna get onto the car and give you guys a big update. Things are looking really good here, aren't they, Daiki? You must be getting excited.
Yes.
Man, we are so hyped on this. Literally, like, we spent a bunch of time today getting the bottom mounts all sorted out. We got this really nice foam in here and everything too. That way that nothing can rub on it and, you know, rub through the radiator and do any damage. Like, I've even gone so far as to even making little piggyback harnesses. I wanted to put a new Link IAT sensor there, but it's gone walkabout and I don't really know where it went. So we're using Daiki's old IAT sensor, which is fine. It's just this old style kind of EV plug one. And I just made from his old harness, it's a little flying lead to go into the Link plug for the new IAT sensor when we get that. So for now, that'll be good. But everything that had any of the old wiring, engine-wise, has been completely changed. Even from the old Bogan 32, that car just keeps giving, hey. The Bogan 32 just keeps like giving goodness to us. I was able to pinch this off the old harness that came off that, so we got an actual plug here instead of a bunch of spade connectors turned in there. And I also ran the extra wires down into the cabin in case he ever wants to have like a dial gauge so he can control the speed of the wipers. For now, it'll just be full send on max speed. We're gonna pull a little bit of this through so this can get tucked up here later. But everything's looking really, really good. Everything's wide in the engine bay wise. Even the fans are all good with their, you know, new fan controller relay harness. All the nice like sleeving on here and everything, all the big plugs. Everything's looking really good. It's all tying together. This thing has definitely come a long way compared to what the harness was like before. Honestly, like, I'm fighting every urge in me to rip out every other wire inside this car for just like the tail lights and headlights, because even that's all junk. But I've been able to sort through most of it and we'll get that sorted in a bit. But, little update. That's all looking probably the same as you saw it last time. It's a little messy right now because I need to zip tie up some stuff because I've been rerunning some wires and stuff. But I will have all of that wired in. I'm finishing up the rest of the back of the panel there right now and doing some ground stuff for some relays and fuses for stuff like wipers and the lights. Otherwise though, I wanted to show you, this is what I meant with the body harness. This is an absolute disaster. All of these wires are like tapped into random places all over the place, and I spent about an hour this morning just figuring out what wire does what and labeled all of them. So I'll be wiring that all in with some relays and getting that all sorted with probably 20 amp is enough for the brake lights, and headlights may need its own 20 amp fuse, but for the most part, that's pretty much all that's left now. Just got to tidy up a few little things and this thing's good. Daiki's ready for coolant. But one other thing I wanted to show you is obviously we started this last night for a little bit, and I don't remember if I showed this in the video or not, but this engine, all SRs normally get this problem after a couple turbo swaps. The oil feed down there might be hard to see on camera, but the oil feed on these strip out all the time. Might be real hard to see actually. I don't know if you can get a good look at it with the camera because it's just all blurred, doesn't know where to focus. That little guy on the block there, they always strip out and they end up getting recoiled or like time certs put in them. Well, this one had already been recoiled and it pulled out and we couldn't find a new coil at the hardware store or the home center. So I just welded an AM4 male fitting straight onto it. And I'm hyped because it's not leaking after we started it yesterday and built oil pressure. That's a really good sign. So I'm stoked on that. That means one less thing to worry about, because if that was leaking, that would mean we would have to pull the whole hot side off again so I could get back in there with the TIG and re-weld it. But anyways, how are we looking here, Daiki?
Should we change hose?
We might need to change the hose.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, because the radiator is a little different now because we have an actual real S15 one in. It's been many hours since I last picked up the camera, and to be honest, I have no idea what this vlog is going to be like because I've been so hyper-focused on getting the wiring done on Daiki's car, and it's finished. It is completely finished. I have like goosebumps saying it is finished. That's like a momentous moment. I don't even know what the words are, but it's nearly 11 o'clock at night. Daiki had to leave at about 6 p.m. It's his girlfriend's birthday today, and I was like, don't get in trouble, bro. Go spend time with your girlfriend. So, if you guys remember, I think I showed you the mess of all the wiring, which was for like headlights, parking lights, brake lights, all that type of stuff that was all there. And that's it all on the ground there now. I have completely reworked all of that. I'm still not 100% happy with the body harness. I would love to rip everything out and redo the whole body harness entirely, which we can do in the future, but everything that I've checked over and everything that I've done, I'm pretty happy with. This may still look a little messy here right now with all the vacuum lines and stuff all over the place, but it is functionable and we will be cutting those and rerouting those tomorrow. There's still a fair bit that needs to be done over here with the radiator and all that type of stuff. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. I should probably put a zip tie on that so that doesn't hit anything. So yeah, otherwise everything's kind of done. The wiring harness, I have pulled through the little bit of extra slack and got that all zip tied up there. I'm gonna probably just put a little bit of heat shielding over it here, just protect it from all the heat that's gonna be generated from the turbo. We still gotta put the bolts in the coil packs, but I wanna redo timing because we've got the correct trigger on there now. And everything is done in here too. I've got the switch panel back in, not going anywhere, it's solid. I've got all of that all done and finished. I don't think I need any more zip ties. This kind of annoys me that this is hanging down, but that's the kill pull switch thing that shuts off the car if there's a fire by the track stuff. But let's turn that on and the isolator on. And now there's only one switch here that works, and that's for wipers, which I'm not gonna turn on right now because otherwise we'd be in trouble. There's a blanket and stuff on there. But this is now the only switch for ignition. When I give power to that, wait, what's going on? Is the battery completely dead? Huh.
A few moments later.
So what I want to do now is power everything up, make sure everything works. Got the little fuse relay thing on, isolator switch on, and then this switch now is the only switch you need for igniter. All these other switches used to be for like fuel pumps and stuff like that, but only one of these switches works now, which is for wipers only. You can hear the lift pump is always on, so that just constantly makes sure there's fuel in the surge tank inside the tank. Everything is contained within the tank, so that will stay always on. And the only pump that shuts off with the ECU and everything is the one inside the surge tank, which sends the fuel pressure to the rest of the car. We've obviously got the dash working, the wideband's working, the fans are all hooked up and working. If we do a quick test here through the fan controller, woo, they're working good. I'll go back, turn that test off. We should be able to crank this thing and it should run, but I also want to make sure that all the lights and stuff are working, so I'm going to put my foot on the brake and all that type of thing. Oh, look at that dash. Powertune digital dash with the SAMMIT logo, baby. Let's see, do I get any red glow? Hey, I got red glow at the back. Hey, brake light works. What about headlights? Hey, we got headlights. Hey, what about indicators? Hey, that's what I want to see, baby. What about the other side? Haha, love it. All right, all the lights and stuff are working. We wired everything good. Oh, I'm so stoked. So stoked. We have both lights? Yeah, we do. Haha, we gotta get some LED ones in there for him. Anyways, she's all mint. So, should be able to just start this thing now. I changed the trigger, so I'll have to check the timing and everything, that's all good, but it should run. It's in the same position as it was before. Let's see. Wait, hang on. Updated some trigger settings. Now we should be all good to go. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hey, we got sync and the car's running. Let's go, baby. Woo! Yeah, that starts fast, eh? I just threw all of this on the ground to get a good visualization of everything I took out of the car. And there's still a lot more when it comes to all the Defi gauges and stuff. We've packed half of that up in boxes, but there's a good couple kilograms here, or pounds or whatever, of just junk, absolute junk. This was the worst of it. And this is where, oh no, that's also the worst of it because that was the bad engine harness. Like, there was just so many dodgy things in here. And I think initially the car was wired somewhat good because I'd find things like this where stuff was labeled and it kind of looked nice, you know, a lot of heat shrink and stuff on it, some nice relay blocks and stuff. So I think it was done okay initially. And then as like the car upgraded and changed or issues arose, they did quick fixes. And maybe they had the intentions of one day, you know, they'll revisit it and fix it. They never did. And it just kept compounding the issue even more and things got even more sketchier. The worst thing I found was, I don't know if I can see it here actually in this mess, but actually I think it's these wires, is this was the old power wires going to the fuel pump. And I don't know if I can find it in here because I cut it into multiple sections, but this was pinched between the cage and the body. And as it would kind of like, I guess from all the vibration and the rubbing and stuff, it had worked its way through and was touching the chassis. That's another thing that could have led to the motor blowing and not getting enough fuel. Like there's just so many different things in this harness that make me go, how did this car not burn to the ground? I don't know if I talked about it before, but how the lights were wired was there were 4 wires for all the lights and only one of them was actually hooked up to the positive, which was the smallest of the wires, and that entire wire all the way through to the rear of the car, which was then backfeeding. It was super weird, but that whole wire was melted too and touching the chassis. And it just blows my mind because there was no proper fuses set up. There was no like proper relays. Like I just don't know what happened. And honestly, I don't know how this car didn't burn down. It's a miracle, to be honest. I'm stumped. But I'm also very glad because the car's inside my shop. And I'm glad Daiki, every time he parked it in here, disconnected the battery terminal because this was just a ticking time bomb. Anyways, everything's done. Everything's out. I'm still going to keep his old harness because there is some plugs on here that we can reuse for other things. I don't know how much I showed you guys, but this is his old harness that would plug into the ECU here, and you can see how many times it was like spliced into here for like the coils and other things and sensors. And like, what is this weird plug that was chopped? These wires were chopped and that was added. Super weird stuff. And then the body harness, that was how the whole body harness was getting power. That was the EFI fuse there, just taped in there with, oh, by the way, these 2 wires are 2 positives. They didn't know how much power it needed, so they just gave it the black and the red and ran that to the terminal on the battery. So yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if that fuse isn't even connected, if it was just like put there to make it look like there's a fuse. And then I'm trying to find, this is where the coil harness got randomly patched in, another completely different harness for the coils, which then, this would go to the coils to the engine, right? This was the power for the coils, all right? And ground, which is super weird. Wait, I'm so confused. No, this was the power to the coils. This yellow one here would go to positive. And then this was the ground to the coils. And I need to find the other plug that plugged into this because that was shorted out on the chassis too, which is why this thing was tripping. I don't know if it's in here. It's in here somewhere. But anyways, I can't remember if I showed you all the different things, but I just been so focused on getting this done. We got it done. Wait, was this it? Was this it here? Now I'm like focused on trying to find that one wire that connected, that plugged into this. There was a plug that went into this one pin, and then that was shorting against the chassis too. Anyways, you get the gist of it. And then there's even wires like disconnected up here. I don't even know what's going on, man. All I know is this is out, this is junk. What's in there now is good. And I gotta say, Wiring Specialties definitely came through clutch with this Pro aftermarket harness that we're running. It's not designed for a completely stock car, obviously. It came with a fuse block and all that other stuff that I wired into the switch panel. But yeah, definitely saved the day for us. That's for sure. Oh, I love how good that looks now. Man, I'm so stoked. I can't wait to see Daikie's friends that help him at D1 Lights. I kind of want to go watch him drive too next weekend. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Otherwise, car's sorted, a few other things to tidy up, and we are good. But all I want to do is put that outside and just pour gas on it and set it on fire. It just ticked over 12:30. I'm wrecked, and I'm ready to head home and wrap this video up. But it feels incredible that we accomplished so much with this car. The wiring's all done. We don't have to worry about any of that anymore. The only thing I would ever want to revisit, and it's just because of my OCD, knowing that there's old like stuff still in the car, is the body loom. But I cut everything sketch out and redid it all, so it's all good. It just, nice fresh wires in there would be sick. Even maybe go crazy and do mil spec, but I need to stop. Don't need to do that. The body harness in there will work and it'll be fine and it's safe, and that's the main thing. Anything sketch was just ripped out and replaced, but yeah. That aside, Daikie's car, all the wiring is done. A few more touch-ups there and it will be ready to go. Otherwise, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update on this Stagia, the giveaway one that we gave away at the end of last year. A lot of you have been messaging about it or commenting about it, and I have explained this a few times already, but the winner, who's from Texas, was initially going to fly out and drive it on the street. We're going to get him temp tags and all that type of stuff so that he could enjoy the car here. And that wasn't actually part of the giveaway, but he was going to get some holiday time off and try to come over and get to drive the car here. And so we said we would store the car for him and wait for that, but then the schedules didn't line up. We tried rebooking a couple times and didn't end up working out. So we decided to just ship the car straight to him in Texas. We got on the phone to B Ford. B Ford's got it all booked, but there's quite a fair few delays right now with getting cars out of the country with the roll-on, roll-off stuff. So we've been kind of sitting there and waiting for the shipping company to let us know when they can take the car and when there'll be a boat locked in for it. So we've been kind of waiting now we've been waiting well over a month for a slot to open up for the car, but from what we've been told is that should be opening next week and we should see that car go. It is, before it goes though, it is going to be going to the dyno just to make sure that it's got a super safe tune on there for something. We're going to tune it actually on regular gas here in Japan so that it's more likely going to be what, high octane gas that you guys have there. I think 93 or something. We have like 100 at the pump here. So we'll tune it on regular gas so that everything's super safe and it should be fine. But still, I will have advised the winner that if he does want to, thrash the car, he should get it retuned there. But with the link, that's all pretty easy. Anyways, with that aside, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Smash the like button, write us a comment, and subscribe. And check your wiring, guys. Seriously, save yourself 3 engine builds. Get a harness from Wiring Specialties. Just start from something fresh. It's worth it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.